Imagine a glowing wand, soft light, sparkles, warmth. Now imagine green smoke, sharp shadows, a voice echoing through the darkness. Both are magic. So why does one feel safe and the other feels dangerous? On this episode of Spirits Uncorked, we're diving into good versus evil magic, heroes and villains, how it all connects to deeper themes like nature and gender, and what we may have been taught as kids without even realizing it. So pour a glass of wine, light or dark, and join us. Okay, hey, welcome to Spirits Uncorked.
I'm Erica.
And I'm Elizabeth, and we are talking about magic today.
Ooh.
But first, we have to talk about what we're drinking.
Yes.
And we're trying to go with the dark magic versus light magic. So One of us got a light wine, and one of us got a dark wine.
Maybe start with the good one.
Okay, I'm the good one in all aspects.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I just went into the wine store and I was like, light, light, light. I have to look for something light. And the first thing that my eye landed on was literally this bottle that says light.
Oh my God. That's so funny.
So it's a Chateau Saint Michel. But then, so I just grabbed it because I was in a hurry. I grabbed it and I went to the counter to check it out. And the reason it says light is because it's like 80 calories and zero sugar. So it's like literally like light as in low calorie.
Well, it's a white wine, so that goes along with it.
Sauvignon Blanc and Chateau Saint Michel. So I'm being calorie conscious today. So I'm being extra good.
Yeah, you are. Mine is a red. It's another one of those wines that one of my friends bought me. So this
Gosh,
one,
your friends buy you a lot of alcohol.
I know. They're like, "Oh, you talk about wine? We don't listen to your podcast, but we'll buy you wine." So this one is called a Spaldi, and it has like a creepy little thing. And this one it says Rioja, but yeah, it's a Spanish red.
Cool.
Okay, let me taste this. Let's find out, because you know I'm not a big red wine person.
Yeah.
It smells bold.
Mm.
It's bold.
Yeah.
Sipping wine.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. Notes. Can I use my words?
Use your words.
Earthy.
Oh,
bitter.
I don't like it. Yeah. Nope. Ick.
Dry.
Not for me in all aspects. That's the worst.
I don't really get a taste of any kind of fruit in this. There is no Rioja Denominación de Origen Calificada.
Okay, great job.
Thank you.
Mine doesn't have any description on it other than it's a guilt-free indulgence. So there you go. All right, so we are talking about magic and just how you can tell when, you're watching one of those old Disney movies. What's the good and what's the bad and why that is. We might get a little psychological.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, when I think of a bad witch, my favorite meme is Snow White and the witch that gives her an apple, and she like has the apple in her hand, and then she's going down in her corridor, and she's like, ha 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 ha. That's my favorite. I fucking love that one. I send that to everybody whenever I'm like, yes, I'm doing something I shouldn't.
Yeah. Okay, well, so let's start by talking about the visuals. Okay, so let's talk about some of our favorite villains and some of our favorite heroes. And then we'll kind of dissect the different aspects about their magic. Okay, so first of all, my favorite Disney movie was always the Little Mermaid.
Yes.
And now that I'm an adult, I see how problematic it is. But I loved it as a child.
Well, Dad used to pretend he was Ursula.
Whenever we were in a pool, yes, our dad would be Ursula and we were all the mermaids.
It's funny that he was never Triton.
I,
He was always Ursula. Like, why?
because we had to run from him.
Because he had to, wanted a rough house. Like,
Yeah,
that's all
yeah.
it was.
He couldn't be like Jaws, like, because we were girls. We don't want to play like stupid shark. Like, we wanted to be
Yeah.
mermaids
We're beautiful mermaids.
and flip our hair in the pool. So, okay, well, Ursula is a great villain because she actually portrays perfectly a lot of these things. Okay, so the visuals of the bad magic versus the good magic. The good magic is obviously sparkly and pretty and like flowy and lovely. And then the bad magic, Ursula, is creepy and smoky and icky, jagged and chaotic. And it always goes against nature. You will find that the good magic is always in harmony with nature, and the bad magic is always going against nature.
I always hated Ursula because she would like do her thing and then like it's like she has their souls and they're these shriveled up little things on the wall and it's like okay, Ariel got away with it, but and I know at the end of the movie,
Yeah,
but I'm like, come on, like
I
this is
know.
actually so evil.
It's really evil. Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like it's like in Pinocchio, like all the little boys that turn into donkeys.
Oh my gosh.
Evil, evil, evil,
Traumatizing.
evil.
Traumatizing. Yeah,
This is
yeah.
why we all have a generational traumatic
I know. I
experience.
know. Right. So like the only like good magic that well the first good magic that comes to my mind would be Glinda, right? The good witch. She
Yeah.
has a little sparkly wand and then there's of course Elsa and she has pretty magic and everything's pretty. Okay, so that's the visuals, right? And then okay, so in your opinion, do you find the dark magic or the good magic more visually appealing?
Well, I think as a child, you obviously go towards the sparkly, the beautiful, the magic, the earthy. And then you get older and you become distorted through life and traumatized through life. And then you're like, actually, you know what? She's so right for that.
Yeah, I know. So
I'm
true.
thinking of Maleficent.
I know. I
Girl
know.
had a right.
She was pretty. She was pretty too. Like, like most of the evil women villains were like ugly. She
Mhm.
was like pretty too.
She was pretty and ultimately she did care. It
Yeah.
was just a distorted type of way.
Yeah. Okay, so the other thing too about like what does the magic do? Okay. So you have the villain, their magic always curses and manipulates, shapeshifts. The good magic always protects and heals. And it always seems like the bad magic always seems to be more powerful. And like the
Yes.
good magic always has to like find a way to use their magic to like trick. Like there's always limits on the good magic and they have to like find a loophole to make their good magic work.
Yeah.
Like the bad
I
magic is always
know.
just more powerful.
What is up with
I
that?
don't know.
It's the underdog aspect. You're always rooting for the underdog, and we have to find a way.
Hmm.
We have to work through this problem solving thing. I suppose it could be like a psychological thing for kids, but I don't think that Disney ever thought that deep into it. I mean,
Yeah.
they were more just misogynistic and
Yeah.
sexist.
Patriarchal and yeah. Right. We'll get into that in a minute. Right. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to talk about the sound of the magic. Obviously,
Mhm.
the tinkly la di da, soft, youthful sound of the good magic, and then the low, dissonant sound of the dark magic. That's pretty obvious. And then the characters. Okay, this is where we get into like the more interesting stuff. The characters. Okay, because the good characters are always youthful, attractive mostly, soft, warm, especially the females are loving, nurturing, and maternal. And then
Hmm.
the villains are sharp, old, usually. If they're women, they're unmarried. They're not nurturing. They're not maternal. So you could really ask yourself,
Hmm.
what are the little children
Hmm.
learning?
What are we being brainwashed into?
Well, and when Disney started, that was the environment that
Yeah.
it was. And so naturally all of those cartoons, all those early ones, Sleeping Beauty, of course, that was going to be a product of the environment. And then just think it takes generations to
I
wisen
mean,
up.
gosh, Sleeping Beauty got canceled. She didn't give him a kiss without consent or with consent.
I
Like,
know. I know. But honestly, I think it's why they're making all of those live action remakes is because they are trying to right some of those wrongs,
yeah.
and there are warnings now on, like, if you go back and you watch the originals, there are content warnings at the beginning of those original movies that say this contains, views that,
This, and this.
yeah,
Yeah.
that some might find discriminatory or whatever,
Our generation, like Gen X and millennials, were literally raised with these movies. So we
Yeah.
love them dearly. We can't let them go.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as an adult, you see all of the problems with this system that they basically were putting into place. But yeah, I mean, as far as good witches, bad witches, but where did witches even really come from?
Oh, let's talk about that. What was the problem with witches?
Yeah.
Why were women labeled witches in the first place?
Hmm.
Why were they considered dangerous?
I
Why
would
is it be
be a witch.
I know,
I
you
am
would.
a single
Single?
woman with a cat.
You were single, independent. Maybe you had a little too much knowledge.
Oh, I didn't even
Just a
graduate
little,
college.
just a little too much knowledge, not very much more. Yeah.
It doesn't take that much.
But those are all the things that the patriarchy at the time would have feared. And so that would have been, I mean, but that would have been your power. That's what they would have feared.
This is
So
the
they
thing.
would have had to put a label on it so that they could punish you.
Okay,
And they
so
could do it all under the guise of religion.
la 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 la. Yeah, I know. Here's what I'm thinking though. This is what I don't understand, okay? So with religion, and let's just delve a little bit into this. God created the world, blah blah blah, the earth, the plant, the stuff, and then you're not learning how to utilize it. Whereas women took the time to learn about the plants and the stuff and the things and what they do and all of the herbal remedies. I'm just trying to figure out how, even back in the day before science was even really science, why that was so bad. Where was the thought process that all of a sudden, because you've learned how to use the earth that God created and that we are living on, why is that bad?
Okay, I can see where you're coming from, and I can draw that to a thought process that might be going on today.
Okay,
I
go
might ed-
forth.
I might edit this out. But so you might find people today who are like, they get angry at people who want the drill, baby, drill, and blah 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 blah. Like, why do you not want to take care of the earth that God created?
Mhm.
Why do you get so mad when people want to recycle? Why do you get so mad when people want to drive electric cars, or when they
I
want to
don't
like
think
be electric,
you
when they want to be efficient? Why do
don't
you
have to edit this out. I mean, it really is. Think about taking care of the environment. You don't even have to be religious to care.
But people get so angry about it. You don't have to be religious, but it does become like a hot button issue. But like, why does it have to be? Like, if you, even if you, but if you are religious, like, if God made the earth, why don't you want to like take care of the earth a little bit or make sure it's there for your great grandkids? Like, why
You
don't
know,
you want to do
sometimes
that?
it does seem like such an opposite reaction. Like we are entitled to it because God gave it to us or something like
Mm.
that. There's a sense of entitlement.
What were we talking about? Magic or something? Yes.
Witches.
Witches. That's right. Right. And how that's right. We were talking about because we started to get off on gender roles because what I also wanted to bring up was like some of the male characters in these movies. So I was trying to think of the male characters.
Okay.
And I came up with the genie, right?
Uh-huh. Yep.
So let's talk about the genie's power. He's a good guy. He's very powerful, but he's powerful.
He has all the power.
He's very powerful. We don't talk about Glinda as being powerful.
No. Basically, Glenda can help.
Yes, she can help. She's very maternal. And then the other one would be that I was thinking of was Merlin. Remember the Sword and the Stone, Merlin?
Oh, yes.
And he's a wizard and he's a teacher, like he's a professor and he's imparting knowledge on his young squire and
Right.
so it's also a different kind of thing. And then there's Maui. What do we think of Maui?
Maui from what?
Moana. Oh, you don't have kids.
I don't have
Oh.
children.
Okay, let's just stick to the old ones. Um, Jafar.
Oh, Jafar.
Jafar.
Okay, yeah.
Jafar as a villain. Creepy, angled, weird.
Slinky.
Also sleazeball. Remember when he had Jasmine in chains and ew. Remember how gross that was?
Oh my God. Okay,
That's like the
watching
things.
that,
Ew, that gives you the creeps as like an 10-year-old. As a 10-year-old girl, you're like, that makes me feel icky.
it was
Like,
literally an almost scene.
yeah,
She's in chains and he's like, kiss me, and forcing himself on her.
that is so gross.
And this is something that we grew up normalizing
So inappropriate. We're like,
wildly. And what she's wearing and
oh
how
my
she
gosh.
looks.
And then she's like walking towards him, like all slinky
Oh,
with her
when
shoulders.
she gets
Yes.
all sexy. I
Yes.
mean, as an adult now, okay, I remember watching it with our two oldest nephews, and I think it was one of the first times I had seen it as an adult.
Yeah.
And I remember like literally feeling uncomfortable
Uncomfortable.
because dad was there with us too.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is something you let your daughters watch.
Yeah.
This woman literally seducing an evil man who had her in cuffs.
Chains. Yeah. Ew. Gross. Gross. Gross, Disney. Bad job. Bad job, Disney. Bad
Everybody
job.
needs to be castrated.
That'll be our sound bite for this episode.
Just like if you're cool with that, showing I like what?
Oh gosh.
Okay, you can edit that out if you want.
You know what is so funny? Okay, I'm just gonna put this out just as a podcast person. What is so funny about being like a host and a producer is like you're like I'm always thinking about what I have to edit later. And like so I'm always looking at like if I could just host and just not think about that, I would be so much more at ease.
You know,
I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it.
Leave it. I said what I said. Leave it all. Look, everybody, I stand by what I say. And I'm pretty sure if you're a normal human being, you agree with me.
I'm
And if
also
not,
like-
that's okay.
I'm also like, I think our grandma listens to this sometimes. Sorry, grandma.
Oh, she wants to start, but I don't know if she actually has yet. There's so many people who want to start listening.
I know. I know. Deb wants to start too. She never will.
Oh my gosh. We're working on our own personal group of people in our lives. So if you're listening, thank you so much. We love you.
Yes, so true.
Okay, so yeah, witches and good and bad.
Oh, goodness. But they
Random.
also, all of those characters, they are all presented as, black or white, good or bad.
Hmm.
And I think that's why the Maleficent movie, why that, it played really well because it presented that character as a more complicated character. And so, I think movies are starting to do that. Like things are more complicated. There's more things going on.
Okay. I mean, this is pretty basic, but I feel like it's a good question, and I'd have to think about it for a second. Would you rather learn healing and protection spells from a good witch or master curses and hexes from a bad witch?
Oh, that is a great question.
I mean, it's so basic, but like, actually,
I'd like to do both.
I would like to do both, but if I had to pick one, like because I think it's just human nature that you think good prevails over the other, I would just go ahead and go with the curses so that way it could punish people.
Oh my gosh, we should team up. You choose the bad one, I'll choose the good one, and then you can put hexes on all of our enemies, and then
Yes,
and then I'll heal all the good people, and that's what we'll do. We'll
I'm
be
down.
we'll be the yin and the yang.
Yes, yes, exactly.
We'll be the yin and the yang superheroes.
Okay, would you rather have a familiar, like a wise owl that guides you, or a mischievous black cat that helps you plot tricks?
I'd rather have a wise owl.
Man, I'm going with the mischievous black cat.
No, I need a wise owl right now. Oh my gosh. I need a wise freaking owl.
Okay, so would you rather live in a sparkling enchanted castle like the fairy godmother or rule a spooky fortress like Maleficent?
The fairy godmother does not live in a castle.
A sparkly castle or a spooky fortress?
Castle.
Yeah, you'd choose castle, I would choose fortress. Uh, uh, very opposite.
Anyways, well, thank you for joining us and thank you for listening. And we hope that you have a nice
Hope you have a nice day. Hey, how about this? Why don't you mail in some of your ghost stories so we can talk about that? Go on our Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all of the things. But yes, have a nice day. We're doing really good.
we're doing great. It's been
We're tired today. We love you. We love you.
we love you all.
I don't think you should cut any of this out.
Come back next time. Bye.
Yeah, we're still here.